Gamescom 2017. We are coming to you live from the Nintendo booth here at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany, and I'm joined by some wonderful friends. So, of course, the guys from Nintendo of Europe are back. It's Chris and
Hello.
Filippo.
Hello,
hey guys, good to have you back.
Hello.
And there's also a special guest. It's Brian from SteamWorld Dig 2. Hey Brian, it's good to have you here.
It's always good to be back. Guten Tag, Deutschland.
Ooh, pretty good, pretty good.
Good, yeah.
So we met each other last year for SteamWorld Heist, right? I remember that. And Filippo was wearing this really nice hat. I remember that as well.
Yeah, everybody remembers that.
So, but today you're going to tell us all about SteamWorld Dig 2, right?
That's right. That's what we're going to talk about. So SteamWorld Dig 2 is the new, wonderful game from Image and Form.
Yeah.
The type of game that Nintendo themselves would have wanted to make if they were as good as Image and Form. That is.
Yeah, that's correct. So unfortunately, Brian, we have to stop our live stream right now. No, I'm just kidding. Let's continue.
Yeah.
So
Let's try this again.
You guys played it already, obviously.
Yes, yes. We have here the demo that is actually also playable on the show floor here at Gamescom. And it's a small introduction in the world of SteamWorld Dig 2. I think we can just dive into the gameplay, and then, Brian, you can tell us all about it, right?
Yeah,
Of course. Let's get started.
OK. So let's get into the gameplay. So first of all, the first thing we notice is that we play with a different character than we were playing in...
That's right. I mean, so SteamWorld Dig, the original, had Rusty as the main character. Rusty is this sort of like silent guy that comes to the Wild West, like a small town, and helps them out. Kind of a Clint Eastwood character. Now, in SteamWorld Dig, we had his friend called Dorothy, a side character, and this is really Dorothy's game. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil anything about SteamWorld Dig, but there is a very good reason for making SteamWorld Dig 2 about Dorothy.
Okay.
She really has a story of her own to tell.
Okay.
So,
As we see, if we can get the gameplay over, we can see that Dorothy just fell into a shaft. So this is how the game starts.
that's right.
And, well,
That's sweet, yeah.
our light broke. So we are a bit in the dark right now.
That's right. So, as you can see, this game starts as every SteamWorld game starts, apparently. You sort of fall down into the ground. Like both SteamWorld Dig started that way, SteamWorld Heist started that way.
Yes.
You like end up in a shaft, and you need to sort of get your, find your way out of there.
Okay.
So her light has just broken, so she has a little bit of a hard time finding a way out. But yeah, it's not going to be that bad. We get a little bit of indication. As you can see, you can sort of dig your way. It's a Metroidvania game that way, that we're sort of teaching the player what to do before they actually get to use it. You run into sort of a situation, and then you need to learn a new skill to get out of there.
Okay. So you see, I can wall jump, but I cannot use my pick while I'm wall jumping.
That's right.
And I can use my pickaxe to mine up, down, and in front of me.
Yep.
And there are rocks that are a bit harder, rocks that are a bit softer. I take.
That's right. Yeah.
And is there going to be like? I mean, there are going to be upgrades then to the character, I guess. If you said just like in the first game. So there are also platforms that crumble as soon as I touch them, as you see here. And
yeah, and then you can sort of run about, like Filippo here, he's playing sort of really classical platformer style. It's like whatever you do, you run to the left, the first thing you do. You notice you run into this door, you have this button that opens it.
but I cannot. Yeah.
No, exactly. And if you get behind the button, maybe, like if you run a little bit further and take a break, maybe take a coffee over there, and then you sort of, start running. Go back a little bit here, I'll show you. So just run as fast as you can now, Filippo. Like, go all the way.
That's far enough.
Yeah, that's far enough. Okay, that's far enough. Okay.
Okay.
Get back to the right and run. All right. So you're not very fast, Filippo. It's like you should get some more exercise, I think. And
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
you're not
something
making it, right? It's
No.
like we need to make Dorothy faster somehow, right? It's
okay.
like or you got to be more skilled with it. But you have a really good
Nah,
pro
that's not going
controller.
to happen. So
no,
how would you make it?
So Brian, one
Fast.
thing that if you have played SteamWorld Dig, you immediately notice is that SteamWorld Dig 1 was very much a
smart guy.
shaft
Yeah.
going down. So it was very much a vertical platform.
Yeah, right.
With some puzzle elements. Now with SteamWorld Dig 2, it seems like the level design has really significantly changed.
Yes, it has. It's like the game is, for starters, like SteamWorld Dig 2 is so much bigger than SteamWorld Dig that we should have actually just called it SteamWorld Dig 4 instead. So it's like bigger in every direction.
But
like,
then whose story would you have told?
it would be my story basically. No, but it's so SteamWorld Dig 2 is just bigger in every direction. It's a much bigger game, and one of the things is that like SteamWorld Dig was you would dig it out sort of vertically, just go down a big shaft, and the world would sort of change as you went down. Here,
Which is actually what we're seeing here. So if Filippo can go down a bit, this is more like the traditional SteamWorld Dig 1 kind of setting.
That's it. You would sort of go down, and then you would go up to the town and sell your resources, upgrade your stuff, maybe find some new things and so on, and then go down again and dig some more. But you would always be sort of like in this vertical shaft. And there are many reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons is that, oh, hang on, Filippo, you're going to find something here, actually. So dig carefully, okay? All right, okay, careful. Yeah, are you digging? Oh, yes. There you are. Wonderful, okay. Stay there for a little second, Filippo. I'm just going to finish this question here first. So with SteamWorld Dig 2, when we made SteamWorld Dig, we were only 5 or 6 people when we started making that game. So we knew that we would have to be sort of clever and use our resources and use a lot of procedural content in that game, meaning that we sort of programmed where the stuff was. Whereas in SteamWorld Dig 2, we have dedicated level designers. So this, again, is sort of an analogy to what Nintendo would have wanted to do if they had been able to make a game like this, right? The level design is just flawless. It's thousands and thousands of hours poured into just action platforming perfection.
I'm glad that you're throwing in a statistic here, because we were talking earlier that you really prepared all the statistics.
Yes, I did.
Can I get it? Can I get it?
You can get it.
Okay.
Okay, so now, Flipper, you got the upgrade cog, and these cogs, they bring apart from the game being just bigger in every direction, like you're not only going to worlds vertically down, but you're going like sideways and blah blah blah. Like, you can do anything, but also these cogs, you use them to get all kinds of new functionality to your tools. I mean, so far Filippo only has a pickaxe, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty lame too. It doesn't come in different colors or anything like that, and it's still pretty blunt. It's not a very sharp pickaxe.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on here, Filippo. It's like, oh, careful. It looks dangerous, kind of, but it looks cool at the same time. It totally looks steampunk anyway, right?
Yes.
Let's get in there. Okay, game over. Sorry, I No, it's actually, this is the very first upgrade you get in the game itself. So now, now she's got speed boots. She's got sprint hydraulics.
It wasn't my fault I wasn't running that fast then.
No, and as you notice, now you sort of use this up.
I cannot. Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. You're right. And can you see now? You can sort of run faster. Just go running here, Philip, and try your new sprint hydraulics.
Wow, yeah.
Run away, run.
And the jumping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, go back. Sorry. I need to show you another really cool thing.
Okay.
You understand the cogs, right? You understand that you collect cogs, and these cogs are so fantastic because they're not like, there's no buyer's remorse with these cogs. You collect like, there's like 100 cogs or more hidden in this game, and these cogs can be used to upgrade your stuff. You just make your pickaxe do different things. Not only, it doesn't get sharper, just that. I mean, because we use like the jewels that you find in the game, the jewelry or like the gemstones.
Yes. Yeah.
The money that you get for them, you're actually using to make your stuff stronger and so on. But now I'm going to show you something really cool. You understand the cogs, okay?
Yes.
I think so. So the cogs is sort of, you can use them and reuse them and move them about. on different functionalities. Now I'm going to show you.
Consumed. They are not consumed. Then.
That's exactly. It's like you have this big pool of cogs that you can sort of. Yeah, I'm going to assign it to this upgrade now, and then I'm going to take it out and assign it to this other.
Does that mean that basically your idea behind using the cogs or reusing the cogs is to have more of like a customizable playstyle?
That's right, and also like maybe that's exactly it. But there might also be situations where you need more armor than sort of pickaxe double functionalities and so on.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but you're standing in the right place now. Now, if you just start digging down here, I'm just going to explain a little bit later. Go a little bit to the left.
Ah, so it wasn't the right place.
Oh, do you see?
Oh wow, secret area uncovered. Okay.
Yeah. Cool, you say, right? It's super cool because this is
rejected building plans.
Yeah, what you found now is rejected building plans.
Sounds cool.
So are they from your level designers or?
No, it's actually it's some old Nintendo building plans that were rejected. Did you see? You just got faster, so you can get out, and now you can actually do wall jumps and stuff like that.
You need to get a bit of momentum, right? Because
yes, exactly.
Like if I press Y and
then
you have to run first. I have to take a bit of.
But then you sort of get this speed going, and
nice.
Suddenly you're very fast. I'm going to tell you about these rejected building. That's very good. You took 2 hits there out of 2. That's
no, only 1.
No, that's really good. Showing the people that
that's also
the game is challenging. Now I get to. Now I got to.
All right, wonderful. Okay, careful. So there's like this fluidity to the level design. But about this thing that you found, the rejected building plans, it's what we call an artifact in the game.
Oh, okay.
So you can find these artifacts, and there's this artifact collector up in the town who really wants your stuff.
Is there something to find here? Or
no, is there something to find? I think maybe you should go to the left.
Yeah.
So I'll go back up there.
Because remember when you were too slow at the beginning to sprint?
You're right.
I can go back up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I'm back up where I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
I think
now...
Yeah, Chris is really playing this game for you, Filippo. That's great.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, all right.
What? No, just kidding.
Oh, wait a minute. Go up there, Filippo. Can you go back up there? Now, you see, like, there's all kinds of different materials. You have, like, some sort of brick material here.
Yeah.
I mean...
It cannot be broken, at least at this point.
At this point, it can't be broken, right? So it's like... You're going to find stuff that takes care of tougher materials, etc., and you upgrade that as well, and so on.
That's in a similar way to SteamWorld Dig 1.
That's correct, yeah.
So one thing that I would like to ask is, you saw Filippo collecting Trashium earlier, the gemstone.
Yeah, that's the way he rolls, yeah.
They seem to be stored on the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
Does that mean that the game still very much encourages you to sort of collect a certain amount of Trashium and then go back up to the surface to bring it back?
That's right. Just like you were saying that, Chris, before Filippo ran away with us, it's yeah, that's it. You collect these items or these gemstones or jewels, and in the beginning it's Trashium. It's very, very cheap stuff close to the surface. But as you dig down, you will find the most amazing things, right?
Okay.
But so what you do with those things is you bring them up to the surface, to town, and there are robots up there who are very willing to pay you for these gemstones. And that's sort of this wonderful Metroidvania loop in the game, where you go down, you dig, you feel good, you go up to town, you sell your stuff, you feel good, you buy something new, you feel extra good, because shopping is great. And then you go down below again, and you dig up some more, and you go on missions and so on, and it's really a game about exploration this time, because SteamWorld Dig was so linear, and this is just so marvelous.
Yeah, it also feels like you're looking for a very different tone here, because SteamWorld Dig 1 was very much like a solitary adventure with Rusty.
Yeah.
And you already hinted at Dorothea having much more of a story with all the others. So, yeah, I can imagine there's an idea why you wanted to do that.
There's this big thing. I mean, bear with me for just a couple of minutes, okay? I mean, do you want to do it?
No, go ahead. I just want to play.
Okay.
Maybe you can just
you can play it.
I
can, yeah. And if you fail, just so here, every proper action platformer has its own death cult, right? So here is a death cult that worships this thing that we don't really know what it is yet, but Yeah, he's about to get vaporized, this guy.
You may bask in my destructive glow.
Yeah,
Kind of, okay.
that's kind of thing that he says, yeah. So, to get back to your question there, Chris, I mean, we've really, so one shot, yeah, that's very good. With SteamWorld Dig, we really hadn't, we were so surprised when we put out SteamWorld Dig on the 3DS that the Nintendo community or the players were going to embrace it so much. We really didn't know at that time that we were going to make more games in the SteamWorld series.
Yeah.
So we made this game then about this lonely sort of cowbot that comes to this western town and sort of puts everything right. And with SteamWorld Dig 2, we're now incorporating, making that part of the lore that there are definitely things that tie SteamWorld Dig 2 together with backwards towards SteamWorld Dig, but also forward in time towards SteamWorld Heist.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is it takes place in between those two games.
That's right.
And what you can see here, this is an enemy that looks very much like enemies from SteamWorld Heist later on in the game.
That's right. And also it's sort of a throwback to the last boss in SteamWorld Dig.
Yes.
Totally spoiling that game, yeah. But
The thing is that one of the things that I always told you is that I love SteamWorld Dig, but I wanted more boss battles.
Yes.
So we can say that there are going to be more boss battles in this one.
There's definitely going to be more boss battles.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
there were three main gripes that people had with SteamWorld Dig. Everyone basically had the same reaction as you, Filippo. See if you can go and just do a little bit of damage there.
I was so waiting.
Yeah, very good. So, like, only one boss battle at the end of SteamWorld Dig, that's kind of cheap, isn't it? So we decided to extend that quite a bit. And also, the game was short. SteamWorld Dig was on the short side. People wanted more. So we decided that without turning it into a grinding game, like a boring grind, we're going to make it much bigger and still sort of keep it very interesting the whole time. That's obviously a big challenge, but I think we've succeeded very well. And then
fall damage, by the way, as we just noticed.
Yep, there is fall damage. And the last thing is people wanted really us to make a designed game.
Yes.
That's very good, Filippo. You're really good at this game.
He really is.
So now you have probably played around 1,000th of this game.
I hope so.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah?
yes.
So
yes.
Is it really that big?
Yeah, no, I'm exaggerating, of course, because
No.
I'm in the cube.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would say that the game is very, very, very much bigger than SteamWorld Dig.
Okay.
And so you're going to enjoy it.
I mean, I really enjoyed the exploration side and these mechanics of selling your stuff, trying to upgrade, and having to go this up and down, and the trade-off, which, as you said, is also in SteamWorld Dig 2.
Right.
But yes, I really want more boss battles, and I'm so happy that there are more in.
More boss battles, more everything in this game. So
Very good. I'm really curious to see how the story develops, because, yeah, we are actually quite big fans of it, to be honest.
So, as a fan, I do have one important question. One thing that I loved from SteamWorld Heist was collecting hats.
Yep.
Are there hats in SteamWorld Dig 2?
I think you've already seen there's headgear, right? I mean,
Exactly.
Are you going to call that a hat or the thing that Dorothy is wearing on her head? I'm not sure about that, right? I mean, that's more like a helmet she's wearing, but kind of hat-ish, right?
Hat-ish.
Yeah.
Hat-ish.
Yeah. Hat-ish. Yeah. It's, I think, cowbots or robots in general, they are really. I mean, hats are a really big thing for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? I mean,
Yeah.
cowbots need their hats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I was actually kind of scared that he was going to make me wear another weird hat for this.
What do you mean weird head?
Yeah, it was a cool hat, but, well...
It looked fantastic.
Yes, it looked fantastic.
Very
If
German.
anyone can pull it off, it's the Italian guy.
Okay,
Exactly, with a hat. All right.
So,
Brian, I
Yeah.
have one more question actually,
Yeah.
because we've spoken to each other before. You've visited us before at Gamescom, and a few times you've mentioned that with each SteamWorld game, you sort of wanted to dive into a new genre to further expand your skills.
Yep.
how, with SteamWorld Dig 2, obviously it's a sequel, so how are you still staying true to that passion?
Yeah, I totally lied about that. No, it's the thing is that so SteamWorld Dig was not the first SteamWorld game.
Yes, exactly. The tower defense was the first one.
So we made like this really, really small game for the Nintendo DSi called SteamWorld Tower Defense. And it was basically because we felt there were no tower defense games for the DSi, and here's our break. We can make like a boatload of money, like from a tower defense game on the Nintendo DSi.
I see your heart is pure and your purpose is...
Yes, exactly. So, and when we were done with it, of course, there were 3 other tower defense games already on that platform. But when we made, but we really liked the idea of that world, SteamWorld. So when we came up with the idea for Dig, we thought it would be cool to sort of expand the universe a little bit, but we really didn't have the sort of like the long and big vision about let's make every game different and so on at that time. So it was rather how are we going to make it so that it's interesting for people every time, and almost like we can educate people so that they try different types of games. How can we put ourselves in that position? So we made SteamWorld Tower Defense, then we made SteamWorld Dig, and then we made SteamWorld Heist. Radically different games from each other. Yeah. It was sort of like a master test for ourselves. Okay. Can we do this? I was like, we really want to make this digging game. So let's make a really good one. We really want to make this turn-based combat game in space. Let's see if we can do it, but let's keep it within that universe to see if people can accept that. And yes, to answer your question now, like 6 hours later, right? It's
I'm still listening.
Yeah. One thing with SteamWorld Dig was that we borrowed like the equivalent of a small African country's worth of gross national product to finish SteamWorld Dig. Right? We borrowed so much money to finish SteamWorld Dig that I was certain that the company would go bankrupt after that. And so Nintendo, or in the Nintendo community, you guys saved us at that point. I really wasn't sure that we were going to make our way back from that big hole that we had been digging. Sorry for the pun, okay? I didn't intend that. But it also meant that we had to break off SteamWorld Dig before we had all the stuff in the game that we wanted to have there. So SteamWorld Dig 2 is not like more of the same of SteamWorld Dig. It's rather all of the cool ideas that were just too big to fit into SteamWorld Dig at the time.
Okay, that's really cool.
Just to interrupt you for 1 second,
yes.
Should we play the trailer meanwhile, so you can continue?
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, let's do this.
Wonderful. So this is the trailer. There's the logo. There's like there's the death cult. And there's, you can sort of tell that we didn't have the money to make a really good trailer, right? So, and there it ends up with a logo. We quite enjoy it. And there the bird dies. Great, yeah. Okay. So we are very happy that we are coming to Nintendo Switch first. And I should really tell you, if you're watching this, that it's no coincidence that we are releasing this on Nintendo Switch first. We released SteamWorld Dig on the 3DS first, and then SteamWorld Heist on the 3DS first as well. I mean, if Nintendo hadn't, specifically if Nintendo of Europe hadn't helped us so much when we released SteamWorld Dig, Image and Form wouldn't have been around today. So there's the slogan for SteamWorld Dig 2 is "Together we are not alone." That is what we're using. Together we are not alone. And in the same way, as SteamWorld Dig 2 is about friendship and loyalty, the decision to come to Nintendo Switch first is very much a decision based in loyalty.
Nice.
Thank you so much. This is actually really touching, and it's great, you know, that that everything worked out the way it did, and that we get more SteamWorld games.
Yes.
In general.
Yeah.
For everybody, for all the gaming community.
Exactly. So you guys just have to buy it so that we can continue making it.
Of course.
Of course.
So, Brian, obviously you guys could have done the Switch in a much better way than Nintendo did, but are you happy with it so far?
Yeah, we like it. But obviously, Image and Form would have built a better machine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
probably not. We are extremely happy with the Switch. I'm surprised, really, that that it took until 2017 for a perfect sort of stationary slash handheld console to reach the mass market.
That's true.
And I'm not surprised, though, that it's Nintendo that's making it, because invention has always been on Nintendo's side. There's always something interesting happening with every new console. So being viewed as sort of like a Nintendo developer or an indie, we feel that we are really in a sweet spot right now.
That's good to hear. So boatloads of fun have always been on your side. So I would like to thank you so much for joining us today, Brian.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I hope you will get boatloads of money with that as well. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the moment to Chris and Filippo, but we're going to see each other in a moment again.